Hello and welcome. This is rooflemonger, and my friends, we are here today to talk about Marvel Tokon. So Marvel Tokon, hey, made a big splash ever since it got announced. People are very excited, and it's going to be finally playable at EVO this year, and EVO's very soon. I believe it's actually a week to the day from right now as I'm posting this. So we're right around the corner. We're going to have a lot of mysteries unveiled. But we might have had a few mysteries about the game hinted at in some recent media posting. As they posted some in-game screenshots, not just, the highly edited trailers that we're seeing without any UI. We actually have a hint of what things look like in-game, and it can give us a few hints to potential gameplay without having to wait for EVO. And actually, while I got you real quick here, more Arc System Works news. They did announce that the ranked system update for Guilty Gear Strive will be launching with the Lucy patch, which will be sometime shortly after EVO. So if you want to learn more about the ranked update and what's going on there, I'll leave that link for you in the video description. But now coming back around to Tocon screenshots and gameplay. So we had the post that said, hey, Marvel Tokon's at EVO, come check it out, that's great. Also another interesting tidbit, there will be a developer panel at EVO on the first day, 8 p.m. Pacific, talking about how a lot of the gameplay works, and hey, maybe there might be a surprise. If there ever, EVO's the place for surprises, right? And yes, it will be live streamed on the EVO Events YouTube channel as well, if you're not there in person. But till EVO shows up, a lot of gameplay, we can only speculate, and we've already made our speculation videos. Made the video about the actual gameplay and what might be going on given the trailers that we've seen, and also just a bunch of roster talk, because there's some interesting hints in the backgrounds of the trailer. But now, actual in-game screenshots with all the menus on, and from this we can assume a lot. Nothing's for sure, but now we have an idea on certain things that we might not have had before. So out of the gate, just base character select. Someone already did the sleuth work here and determined that there is a total of 35 open spots for all the characters. Now, do not take this to mean that there will be 35 characters at launch. That's almost certainly not going to be the case. This is Arc System Works. Think more of the lines of Guilty Gear Strive. This is character select right now in Guilty Gear Strive, but this is what it used to be. We had to kind of fill out that screen over the last couple years. So there's room for 35, and I'm sure it'll grow to 35 eventually, but don't take that for 35 at start. Just like Guilty Gear Strive, DLC, and all that, we're going to fill up that screen over time is the very likely option. But now on the character select screen itself, there's a couple things to notice. For one, just in case you forgot somehow. Secondly, though, we have the character select screen itself, and notice how we have a nice little 4 cut here, right? But one character is definitely placed higher than the others. And notice how there's designations for each character on the team. Leader, shooter, vertical, and assault. So these are clear designations on the team on what people should be doing, and why would we have that? Like here, we have Cap as the leader. He's the biggest part of the pie. And vertical, assault, shooter are kind of just 3 smaller chunks of the pie. So you would say, I guess, less important, right? So they did make a very big deal early on when they just announced the game. You do not have to play all 4 characters, at least they alluded to that. If you only want to play one character specifically, there will be options to accommodate you. You got to pick 4 characters for your team, but you can focus on only one character. So I'm thinking the idea here is this. Whoever the team leader is the default playable character, and if you don't want to switch off of them, you don't gotta. You can just call the other 3 for assists. We obviously know you can tag, that's a thing, but you don't have to switch off the champion character, the leader character. And the gameplay screenshot's going to give us a very strong indicator of that, and we'll get to that in a minute. But just to finish up here, and the other characters with their various job designations, if you will. Although more modern games like 2X, KON, and Impact let you have all your assists at once, classically, when you pick a character, you pick which assists they're gonna be, right? And it looks like potentially that's how it's gonna be in Marvel Tokon. So when we have shooter, vertical, and assault, I think that's kind of mostly self-explanatory, just to show an example of each. Shooter? Well, just some kind of projectile. Like, it doesn't really matter what it is. Like, the example here, we have a Star-Lord's like a beam, and like, it certainly fits the bill, but like a basic projectile or maybe even a very long-range attack. But that makes sense to me. Vertical, well, we got a great example of Storm doing exactly that here, right? It's very literally just going up vertical. And it doesn't have to necessarily be as strict as like literally vertical, but like kind of like a defensive style assist. Like, say, in Marvel vs. Capcom 2, like the Psylocke uppercut, Dragon Ball FighterZ, the Gohan uppercut. Something that kind of goes straight up and is probably more defensive in nature. And for Assault, probably just some kind of basic attack. Like, we have an example here. We have two examples, in fact. And keep in mind here, this game will let you call multiple assists at once. You're not, like, locked out in any way, shape, or form. So there's a lot of nonsense that can be happening on the screen. And then, admittedly, that does leave Champion, the main character, if you will. Does Champion get something as well? You would think so, because if you can actively tag to all your other characters anyways, the Champion would need to have an assist there, otherwise it'd be a dead slot. So maybe Champion could be more like buff aligned. That's a harder tell. I guess that will have to wait for Evo. I guess we'll find out when that happens. So that's an interesting bit we can glean from just screenshots just on the team building elements of the game. But then we also have the actual gameplay screenshot, and that gives us a lot. A simple screen maybe, but there's a fair bit here. One, there's actually team names. You can see here it says the Fighting Avengers above the character name. This potentially could lead to things like theme teams, like certain characters of combinations of characters have their own special team name, and maybe it's like the old Ultimate Alliance games, and certain teams have specific bonuses. Like, maybe that's leading a bit too much, but it's not impossible. Or maybe just online you get to make your own team name. It could be as simple as that as well. Who knows, but it is something to note. We also got all sorts of gauges. So you can see at the bottom corners here, a traditional standard super gauge. You know, fighting games need your super moves. And we got 150 units. The first 4 bars, the first 100, seem kind of normal, but the other 2 bits seem to be a little something different. In that it reads to me, there's got to be something to give there. Because if it was all just one congruous bar, they would just leave it all with just 1 bar. There's got to be a reason why these extra 2 bars are separate from the original 4, but what could it be? We also have these green bars below the health bars, and being a versus game, maybe it's some sort of like burst mechanic or something like that. It could be legitimately a wide variety of things. It could be burst, it could be like something to gauge you using assist. It could be any number of things, but it's certainly not just the base meter mechanic. But then, while we're looking at bars, look at the health bar. And I know you're thinking, well, yeah, it's a health bar. What's so special about that? The fact that there's 1 health bar. One of the big things people were speculating very early on when everything got announced is maybe to help alleviate the madness of 4v4, and especially if you only want to stick to 1 character, which they promise you'll be able to do, that just you share 1 life bar. And there ain't no life bar for any of the other characters at all. In tag fighting games, all the life bars for all the characters you can play are always shown all at once on the screen. It kind of just has to be that way. So you know who's tagged in, who's not tagged in, who has what health, who's regenerating health, all the kind of stuff. Even Arc System Works' own tag fighting game, it works exactly that way in Dragon Ball FighterZ. And yet, here we are now, a singular health bar. And granted, it'd be a messy friggin' UI if we had 8 different health bars on the screen at once. Like, you can argue that, right? But still, we only have the 1 bar, 1 per team. That's it, right? So if, say, Star-Lord's tagged out, I don't know how much health he has. Is he regenerating health? Or is that even a concern? And I don't think it is. I think 1 health bar means the whole team shares that 1 bar. And if that's very much the case, it's certainly a different way to go about it. But the scariest thing, like, hey, I teach new players fighting games for a living, right? Like, people are terrified to team games. They don't want to learn team games. They want to learn a character. That's it. That's all. The team stuff is always a hard sell. And if you can truly just pick 1 character with 3 assists, you know, the champion character, the leader character, and then the 3 assists, and then you don't got to worry about everyone else. When you lose a character, you just lose versus tagging into the next character. That's a way to go about it. Obviously, the game does have tags. Like, it's clear as day in the trailers. It's there if you want it. But I guess if you don't want it, if you don't want to engage with the tag mechanic, if everyone shares the same health bar, it's sort of the same difference in the end. Like, if Captain America's almost dead, you tag in the Ghost Rider, he's going to be almost dead too. It does also potentially make the concept of getting Happy Birthday, getting your assist hit, right? Much scarier. Like here, Storm's an assist haul, she gets hit. That means that's like main health damage. So that means if the assist call is bad and the assist gets blown up, everyone gets blown up. Your whole team, you are going to lose if Storm gets hit with Doom's tactical nuke laser here. Like, that's potentially how this might work. So a singular health bar can certainly, quote-unquote, dumb things down, I guess, but it also opens up very interesting gameplay ramifications, because normally you don't die if the assist gets hit, but here it might actually work that way. It's speculation to be sure, but with every little bit of info we get a little bit closer to the truth. And we just gotta wait till Evo. Oh god, it's like, technically I know it's not far away, but feels like it's forever away. I really want to know more about the game, and I'm sure you do too. So I figured it'd be fun just kind of look over the new information that we have, and just kind of pour over the bits that we got. Gotta do something till Evo, right? But that's the news and speculation for the moment. I'll try my best to get some hands-on with Marvel Tokon at EVO, and I'll give you some impressions. Hopefully, we'll see how that goes. And that's it for the video. So, thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well, and when you can, go out and play some Marvel.